Okay.
Hello students, I'm very sorry that I was unable to upload any video especially for the students of uh, this session, that means second semester, fourth semester and sixth semester I think. So some problems were going on uh, in and around me, and that's why. So from today I will try to start my videos, and I think this will be helpful to you because your examination is very near. So whatever I will discuss in this through this video will be helpful for all of you. So today I have chosen second semester for a simple topic for second semester major students, and that is from Indian political system paper, and that one is first one, evolution of Indian party system from Congress to present state and the emergence of coalition politics in India. So here you remember one thing, that India got independence in 1947, and before that Congress was an organization that was at initial period acted as a pressure group, and gradually after India got independence Congress became a political party, and more or less Congress was the sole political party at that time, under whose umbrella number of political leaders joined together. Their ideology may be differ from one another, but almost or most of them joined under the umbrella of National Congress. So after independence, when India got independence, and during the first election, mainly the Congress party, that was the dominant force in Indian political system at that time. Other political parties were there, small political parties, but they were not matched with the Congress party. So what happened in the first general election, in the second general election, as well as in the third general election, consecutively 3 terms, Congress came into power with absolute majority, especially at the center, and in the states also. During this, I hope so that during second general election, only in Kerala the Communist Party formed the government, but in most of the other states, Congress was there in power. So at that time, India was moving towards a system of what we can say that one party dominant system. But other political parties are there, and other political parties and their MPs are also playing a very important role, but they were not in a position to form the government. So 3 consecutive term, Congress formed the government and they got absolute majority. So in that period, actually, opposition's uh, role in Indian politics is very negligible. Uh, in the meantime, what happened? Gradually, some misunderstandings, some differences took place among the Congress party, and ultimately, Congress party was divided into 2 groups. And from that time onwards, actually, some kind of destruction started or visible in Congress party. So ultimately, in after all of you are aware of the fact that initially Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister of India under the leadership of Congress party, and after that Lal Bahadur Shastri became the Prime Minister, and after that Indira Gandhi, because Lal Bahadur Shastri, he did not able to continue his tenure because he died earlier in some abnormal circumstances. So whatever may be the fact, after that Mrs. Gandhi became the Prime Minister of India, and she also ruled the country through his charismatic leadership and tried to maintain maintain her powers not only in the center but also in the states. But in the meantime, Mrs. Gandhi declared national emergency in the country during 1970s, and from that time on, and when national emergency, that emergency was declared in India for internal disturbances, and in that period, number of political leaders belonging to other than Congress party, they were put in jail. So even they were in jail, but they actually developed their own strategy to fight against Mrs. Gandhi's uh, misrule or whatever may be. So in 1977 election, for the first time, a non-Congress government came into existence in India, and that government was known as Janata Party government, or Janata Party formed the government, and Morarji Desai was the prime minister of that government. But that coalition government, it was a coalition government, but that coalition government was unable to remain in power, and ultimately again Mrs. Gandhi captured power. After the assassination of Mrs. Gandhi, her son Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister of India. Under the leadership of Rajiv Gandhi also, the Congress influence was going on throughout the country. But in the meantime, Rajiv Gandhi was also assassinated, and after that, two most important Prime Minister from Congress party was P.V. Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh. They also became the Prime Minister of India, and but their position was not so stable like that of Mrs. Gandhi or Jawaharlal Nehru, etc. Because in the meantime, another political party started emerging in Indian politics, and that was BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party. But here you remember one thing, that BJP only came into existence in 1980, only in 1980, but gradually this political party emerged as the largest majority party in Indian parliament. In the meantime, in 2004, after the election of 2004, the Congress-led coalition group was formed, and that was known as United Progressive Alliance. And United Progressive Alliance generally consisted of Congress Party, Bahujan Samaj Party, then this one is Samajwadi Party, and leftist party also supported the government from outside. So that one is UPA, United Progressive Alliance, led by Congress. And another group, another alliance partner came into existence, and that was known as NDA, National Democratic Alliance. And who is the leader of National Democratic Alliance? That is the BJP. So BJP came into power 2 or 3 times, but they were unable to remain in power for many days. Atal Bihari Vajpayee also became the Prime Minister of India, but he also unable to continue. After that, in 2014, for the first time, National Democratic Alliance formed the government. And here you remember one thing, though they have formed an alliance government, but BJP actually got absolute majority in the parliament. Then after 2014-2019, another election took place. There also NDA came into power, and now again election will take place in 2024. So the process is going on, and you remember one thing, that initially in India, the opposition parties were not playing a very strong role to control the dominant positions of the Congress party. But gradually, it is after that national emergency, for the first time, the people of India taste the existence of coalition government in India. That is, Janata Party formed the government. Though that government did not continue, after that again Congress Party came into power. But in the meantime, BJP, another national political party, started gaining its strength in Indian political system, and now BJP is in power. And another thing you remember, that coalition politics, how coalition politics emerged in India. Here you remember one thing, that coalition politics is nothing new in India, because already I told you that Congress was more or less a coalition political party after the general election, because people belonging to various types of ideology, they joined under the umbrella of Congress party, and Congress party always adopted the policy of debate and discussion, and they try to form the government with the people belonging to different kinds of ideology. So a system of coalition politics was there in India from the period of independence, and after that UPA or many times Congress formed the government with the help of number of political parties. Sometimes some regional parties also helped the government, and the communist parties, they many times supported the Congress government or helped the Congress party to form the government by giving their support from outside. They did not join in the government because their ideology and Congress ideology differ from one another, but for greater interest they always gave their support to Congress-led government in the center. So that type of coalition system is there. That means leftist and rightist party combined together, they carry on the administration. And nowadays also United Progressive Alliance, they that means led by Congress party, they have their own alliance partner, and NDA, they have also their own alliance partner. But here we remember one thing, that at one time regional political parties played a very important role in Indian politics. As for example, take the example of Assam. Even in Assam also AGP, Ahom Gana Parishad, that also played a very important role in Assam politics. But nowadays what happened, in most of the countries, those regional parties, they either joined with UPA or NDA, and they are actually, though they are not, nowadays they are not in a position to form the government by depending on their own power. So by joining in the alliance, especially with NDA, they actually got the chance to become the partner of the government, of BJP-led government. And another thing the BJP party is doing nowadays, though they got absolute majority in the parliament or even in the state legislature, but they always take their coalition partner into confidence. They make them minister so that their friendship before the election and after the election remains strong, and they are actually following the principle of coalition politics. And nowadays coalition politics become a very normal system of Indian political system. So coalition politics emerged in India because of the fact that number of ideological differences are there, but most of the politicians, they are interested to enjoy the taste of power. For that reason also coalition politics becomes stronger in India. Secondly, coalition partner becomes stronger in India because of the fact that diversity is the most important characteristics of India. So what I can say, that to give the position or give the place to those diverse elements, sometimes it is very much necessary for the government to form coalition with small political parties or regional parties nowadays. Thirdly, through joining the coalition politics, it is very much helpful for small parties, those who are otherwise cannot form the government themselves, to taste the power. So all these things are responsible for the development of coalition politics in India, and nowadays people are actually accustomed with coalition politics, though sometimes it is possible for a national party to form their government themselves, but they thought that it is better to make friendship with other political parties, so that our electoral base become much more wider and we will get support from various types of people, otherwise which is impossible. So this is in nutshell about the Indian political system, which emerged from one party domination to coalition politics with coalition partner belonging to rightist and leftist groups, etc., etc. And nowadays coalition politics is the need of the hour. So thank you today.